Older women dating younger men.
Let's talk about dating younger men.
They're really fun. Tons of energy.
It's even got a catchy new name.
Hag maxing.
Hag maxing.
But in reality, the majority of older women who are dating younger men are not having a good time at all.
If I think about where I am in my dating life, I would categorize it as still romantically optimistic, but completely fatigued.
Honestly, I can't deal with men anymore, so...
If I have to go through one more talking stage, I will lose my mind.
Happy Monday to everybody except the men that I'm talking to on dating apps. You're just exhausting me.
So I've decided to start dating some younger men. Someone help me.
Briefly dated a 24-year-old, and I was very uncomfortable with the age difference. I don't like feeling old.
I just dated this guy who was in his mid-20s, and I was not prepared for the ghosting and the drama.
Is this really the level of effort we are at when it comes to dating? Just a smiley face?
Ladies, so you want to date a younger guy, huh? Guess what he wants?
It just kind of seems like a guy that, just wants to Netflix and chill.
And it was very clear to me that all he wanted was friends with benefits. And he didn't even want to be friends, he just wanted booty call energy.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Asking me what my favorite position is, or if I'm more dominant or submissive.
I am 42 years old and I'm single.
We're just at different life stages.
I think sometimes it's just fine to be this is so fucking hard.
Doesn't necessarily have long-term compatibility.
Yes, boys. Apparently, older women and younger men do not have a long-term compatibility. Wow, who would have thought that?
When is this process going to change? We'll talk, you ask for my number, and then I never hear from you again.
It's almost as if nature hardwired this into our DNA and sets off a monthly egg timer to remind you to not f around.
When you talk about approaching 40 or being over the age of 35, I want to be crystal clear. In terms of gynecology and obstetrics, women's best eggs are in their early 20s.
But hey, don't listen to female doctors who actually care about telling women the truth and provide them with useful information about their bodies. No, just listen to the wisdom of female life coaches online.
You're new here, hi, my name's Kirsten, I'm a life coach.
Or better yet, your personal YouTube tarot card reader.
I'm just so tired. And my YouTube tarot card reader said that all cardinal signs are supposed to be ending a 16 or whatever year curse, now.
Yep, these are perfectly functioning adults. Please drop a like on the video if you think that these modern women have lost the plot, and comment down below what you think. Anyways, before you rip apart the concept of older women and younger men, I want to give a big shout out to you guys for supporting the channel on fberaw.com, since the last video I posted here got removed for apparently being way out of line and showing so-called sexual gratification, which was just a bullshit excuse to censor the video. So now the fully uncensored version is an exclusive on fberaw.com, and we are growing strong over there, so big thanks to you guys for the love and support. Now let's get back to the delusion. And let's kick it off with a banger of entitlement, since this woman is peak modern insanity. Since she's not just looking for a younger man to date, no. She's actually married with kids.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a married polyamorous mom of 3.
While looking for a younger man on the side,
I'm looking for one secondary partner, or a boyfriend, or friends with benefits plus. It's called lots of different things depending on what part of the world you're in.
That must also treat her with respect and dignity and take her seriously.
I don't hear from them for days or even over a week, and then they come in and they automatically jump to a sexual question. How many men have you dated? How many men have you f***ed? And it literally happened that fast. And I was just appalled.
Yep, this woman is actually complaining about men only wanting hookups from a 40-year-old married mother who is looking for some action on the side. I mean, you just can't make this nonsense up, man. It's like, lady, what the f do you expect from a younger man in a situation like this? To wine and dine you and hopefully wife you up one day?
I really am struggling with this lack of effort.
What this situation clearly demonstrates, and something that we as men all know, is that there are plenty of 20-year-old dudes that still want to bang an older woman.
They will date you, they will ask you out, they will go through the motions that make it seem like they're genuinely interested, even when they're not. They'll sleep with you, they'll pursue you, and they have other reasons beyond being authentically interested in you as a person.
It's simply because it's different and there is some mystery to it. However, as men get older, the mystery fades and older women simply become just that, older women. And so if she's not your wife or the mother to your kids, most men are not going to stick around.
Got a Rolodex and they're screaming through people and they're going for coffee dates and walk dates and they're trying to do it really quickly.
Now, even though many older women will tell you that their dating options expand as they get older,
I can date both the toy boys and the divorced dads. So I've now got a huge new range.
what they won't tell you is that many of them now simply get played by both the younger guys and the old dudes.
I was asked out by a 27-year-old, and then I was asked out by a 47-year-old. And in both instances, neither have followed up to actually make it happen.
You see? And so the reason why older women and younger men are less likely to succeed than the old guy and the hot young wife is because young men have everything that older women hate.
The update is that Mr. 28-year-old was never to be heard from again.
Honestly, the whole process has just aged me drastically and dramatically.
A lot of other 27 and 28-year-olds have been sliding into my DMs, but it never goes anywhere. And I'm really trying to learn my lesson to only pursue available men.
You see, older women want men to be established, mature, and have their finances sorted.
We want you to be in your career and be stable. We don't want to be dating someone in our 50s and then they turn around and go, hey, you know, if I can just get this promotion, then I'll be earning almost as much money as you.
And younger men only want two things that many older women either can't or won't give up. And they really like the fact that older women are not looking for them to pay for everything and can shower them with gifts.
But guess what? The trade-off is you have to be willing to foot the bill. That's reality. I know some great ladies, some fantastic, beautiful, beautiful older women, and they're married to some good-looking younger men. But what they're not telling you is, yes, they make it seem like those guys have money, but they don't. I know behind the scenes that these ladies are paying for everything.
Yep. Being a hot sugar mama is the only way to guarantee a long-term relationship with a much younger guy. Since the reality simply is that most young dudes are not interested in wifing up a 40 or 50-year-old. So ironically, the only way for an older woman to make it work long-term with a younger man is to do the very thing that they absolutely despise.
Let's talk about signs that you're dating a broke guy. I base these on my own experiences dating at now 57 years old.
If you're a single woman and you go on a date with a man and then he refuses to pay for the date,
you cannot afford to financially bail a man out who is so financially unwell that no matter how big the shovel is that you brought to the relationship, you would never be able to dig him out. So just get out.
Now, next to the monetary reason, there's also a practical reason of why older women and younger men usually don't work out, and that is the concept of children. Now, funny enough, I'm actually not talking about the ability to have children, but the complexity of finding someone who doesn't want kids, but does want to be a stepdad to the kids that are already there.
A younger person in their like mid-30s, late 30s, whatever, who absolutely does not want children, but likes children enough to like mine. It seems to be a pretty small subset of people.
You see, she's absolutely right. There's only a very small pool of guys that don't want kids but don't have a problem with becoming a stepdad. So you're really looking for a needle in a haystack. But that's not the only problem here, since this woman gives a whole new meaning to the term daddy issues.
If you have a father who's young, so like my dad is almost exactly 20 years older than me, and he's a stallion, which is gross to say, but he's a good looking guy and he looks very young.
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, I would almost think that she wants to fuck her dad. But that's for her and a YouTube card reader to resolve.
My YouTube tarot card reader.
Anyways, when you go through her content, it becomes very evident why she struggles with relationships, since it just screams entitlement headache.
But to find somebody who's going to stay is so particular when you're this kind of person like me, because they need to be on the same wavelength as you. They can recognize that maybe you highlight their own shadows, but they're not going to be triggered by it. They're going to be like, oh shit, I like that this person helps me see these things, and then they deal with it.
But what's truly amazing is her reasoning for wanting to get married again.
I also really do want to get married again at some point, because it's totally out of vanity. Because I would like to do that before I lose some aesthetics, right? Like, I'm in my early 40s. I'm already kind of pushing the hands of time, you know? And I would like to be in a white dress and have some nice photos taken.
Wow, I just can't believe some hot young dude hasn't already snagged her up. My god, man. Now, she does mention later on that she also wants to really fall in love with the person and have butterflies, but it all just sounds like an afterthought when clearly her main concern is to get married while she still looks good. This mindset is literally what every guy fears, that you marry a woman and the moment her goal is achieved, she just lets herself go and now you're fucked, since divorcing her is going to cost you big time.
If you supported your wife during the marriage, if she became accustomed to a lifestyle that your money afforded her, then chances are you will pay her alimony in spite of the fact that she cheated on you.
Now, for a final disastrous attempt at locking down a younger man, we travel all the way to Singapore for a true masterclass in delusion.
It's Friday night in Singapore, and I went out this evening and I met a new guy who happens to be an expat.
Now, there are many problems in this story. However, one of the most iconic ones, and the reason why I made the Passport Bros series linked up here, is how Western women keep underestimating the value of Western men, and they keep overestimating their own value.
He exclusively dates Singaporean or other Southeast Asian nationalities. Back home, he rates himself a 7.5, and in Singapore, he rates himself a 9. I don't know what you Singaporean ladies are doing, but you could do so much better.
You see, she laughs at the guy who's clearly having a much better time dating abroad than she is, because in her eyes, he is beneath her. But the reality is, the average British white dude is not only much taller than the average Asian woman, which is going to help him absolutely dominate the Asian dating market, even if he's the most basic white dude in Britain. While at the same time, an older British white woman is not really that desired in Asia at all.
As a Western woman living in Singapore, it's a very common fact that it's a very difficult market to date. And what happens is many Western women, in this case English women, will leave because they can't find a boyfriend.
Yep, doesn't sound so promising, does it? And so these basic facts are happily ignored by older women on a constant basis, which is why they continue making videos on how great it is to be dating a younger man in your 40s or 50s. But at the same time, they also complain non-stop about how these men keep ghosting them and not take them seriously, to the point that they even start completely ignoring DMs from younger men because they just know it's going to end badly.
27 and 28-year-olds have been sliding into my DMs. And I'm going to be honest, I'm ignoring them because Candace of the past would check out their profile, think they're attractive, and respond. But it never goes anywhere, and I'm really trying to learn my lesson.
Now, a lot of critics might say, aren't you a hypocrite if you support older men dating 20-year-olds, but you're against older women dating younger guys? And to that I say, I am not against older women dating younger men at all. If these women want to date young guys, go right ahead. However, what I am against is the bullshit narrative that older women are now choosing to date younger men and that it's going great.
That didn't work out, and I have to go back to dating because it's really hard.
Because clearly that is not the case, since in reality most of the time these younger men only want a hookup type situation, and most of the time these older women are finding out that they do not want what these young men have to offer, and young men only stick around when older women are willing to spend massively on them. This was older women failing to date younger men. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos.